Okay, what's going on, guys? Got my first Pokemon Wi-Fi battle here. This is going to be a 4th Gen OU match. Webcam DS recorded, of course. It's against MTGXerxes, who's absolutely amazing batter. I'm really appreciative of him giving me this battle. So, yeah, he's got a Cradily lead. I've got a Swampert lead. We both want to set up Stealth Rock. There's nothing you can really do to prevent it. There's no magic bounce in this generation, thank God. So, yeah. It's just a question of what we want to do now. He switches out to a Scarm. I just figured I'd Raw, seeing as there's nothing that Cladle can do to Swampert. So I roam out into a Cradily, and I'm like, ugh, crap, that's kind of a bummer. Because this thing's probably packing a Grass move, so I switch out fearing it, and I switch out to Sizzle, who will resist it pretty damn well. Unfortunately, he predicts this, and he goes for a Rock Slide, or he predicts something like that. But it turns out that he doesn't even have a Grass move, so yeah, it's kind of annoying. So he goes into a Hippo, and now I realize it's a Sand team, and this isn't very good, because with Sand teams, I mean, this team in particular, it relies on lefties recovery quite a bit, which is unfortunate, because Sand cancels out lefties completely, so yeah, it's kind of a bummer there. So I bring in Starmie, figuring that after the U-turn, it's going to counter Hippo the best. It's got Surf, so it will hopefully be able to take it out. So I go for it, but what I didn't foresee was Cradily coming back in. Ironically, it's just the best switch there, because it's not weak to Surf. It's got great special defense anyway, and a Sand up, so it's just not going to take anything. So here I probably should have tried to Rapid Spin, but unfortunately I was still fearing that Grass type attack, so I go into my Dusknoir, who's going to take the Grass attack pretty well. Unfortunately, obviously, it doesn't exist. So he starts to set up a stockpile, and I realize that now, it's going to be really, really tough to kill this thing. I don't think I can kill this thing. So every bit of damage I can get on it is going to be good as he goes for a Swords Dance. I'm really crapping myself, hoping that Will-O-Wisp hits. It does, which is really nice, because that nullifies the Swords Dance, and really, I've got nothing else that I want to do, because I just can't hurt this thing anymore. It's got a stockpile up. I can't bring in a Sweeper because it's going to take a lot from Rock Slide. So, yep, I'm just trying to scout for his 4th move right now, because I know he's got Rock Slide, I know he's got Stockpile, I know he's got Swords Dance, but what's that 4th move? It's probably Recover. That's my hunch at this point. But I didn't know for certain if it would be, because if it's not, well, if it's Recover, then my Swampert completely walls it, because he resists Rock Slide and he doesn't have anything else to hit me with. I don't get affected by Sand with Swampert because of the ground type, and there it is, boom, I see Recover, so that's good for me. So now, all that's going on here is this just turned out to be like one of the biggest stall fests ever. He goes for a Rock Slide just to see what he's going to do. He does nothing, which is what I figured. I mean, a non-boosted resisted Rock Slide is going to do nothing to Swampert. So this whole little stall war that we went on was basically him trying to PP stall me out of my attacks. I have two. I think I have Earthquake and Ice Punch, and it was me trying to essentially PP stall him out of Rock Slides and Recovers, and there was no way I was going to switch, because Swampert is the best thing to take this thing on. So Ice Punch does nothing, and he gets another stockpile, which is just great. And all this time, I was Ice Punching him, hoping that I'd get something. I couldn't get a freeze, but I was just basically, it was there to keep the pressure on him, because I realized that he has to recover every few turns. Otherwise, he's going to get down really low. Plus, I'm faster, which means if I get him low enough, then I'm going to be able to finish him off with an Ice Punch, because despite the +3 defense, it's still doing a fair chunk to his health, about a quarter, I'd say, maybe less. The burn is also helping keeping the pressure up, so he's got to recover quite a few turns. So it's a really, really tricky predicament to be in. So yeah, this is essentially just a massive PP stall. It's unfortunate he had to go somewhere like pretty soon after the battle, because otherwise, he would have stayed in for even more PP stall. So yeah, he's just going up for Swords Dance now, trying to get as much attack as he can before he smacks me. This turn, he's probably going to try and recover. Yep, there we go. And all this time also, I'm hoping for a crit, because, I mean, this is hilarious. As I go through all of my Earthquakes, all of my Ice Punches, on top of that, he goes through most of his Rock Slides on me. Do any of us get a crit? Nope. Not going to get any crits like that, so it's just a gigantic stall war. I apologize for any of these long little bits where I'm not actually picking an attack, because unfortunately, I was also talking to him in the Zat at the same time, so yeah. Anyway, there's the cut. I cut all the Store War out because I know that you guys don't want to sit through all the PP Store. So he took out my Swampert eventually after about 8 or 9 rock slides, and I bring in Scizor just because I might as well, just to get some extra damage on him. And yep, I'm gonna bring in Dusknoir because the next best thing I have to take it on. He goes for a recover, which is a good move on his part, because if he hadn't, who knows, maybe I got a crit. No, not going to get a crit, no way. Not after what's been going on. I think I only get 2 crits. One of them's on Rapid Spin, the other one's completely useless on a weakened guy. It's super effective hit. So he goes for Rock Slide. Dusknoir takes it very well. I knew he was going to Rock Slide, so I went for Pain Split to try and get myself back up there, and that was good for me, because now I'm definitely going to be able to take another one. Actually, I think he's out of Rock Slides at this point. I can't remember. I think he's out of Rock Slides. I'm not quite sure. I know, we'll find out. There we go. He's out of Rock Slides. So we switch into a Mamoswine. This is all right. I've got a couple of options right now. It's a physical hitter. I know this. So I'm gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp as I think he goes for an Earthquake. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go for Will-O-Wisp because having this thing crippled was going to be really, really beneficial to me, because once this thing's burnt, its effectiveness is very, very diminished. So he's knocked me down to about 65 HP, and this is hilarious, is that I'm just going to go for a Sneak to get extra damage on him, because I know I'm not going to be able to last much longer. He goes for Earthquake, but hilariously, after the burn, it still doesn't kill me. Granted, Sand finished me off. I mean, Sand in this game was really, really ridiculous. And here I make a bit of a misplay. I brought in Scizor thinking that Starmie wasn't going to be safe. Oh, there's my crit, by the way. Friggin' useless. I thought that Starmie wasn't going to be safe. What I didn't realize is, what I didn't remember is that he was burnt, so Earthquake wouldn't have done that much to Starmie at all. And now, after I've gone for the Bullet Punch, I mean, even U-Turn would have been a good move there, because it would have finished it off regardless. But I didn't know if I'd be faster. I didn't really want to take anything on Scizor, so I had to Bullet Punch. So Metagross comes in. It goes for an Earthquake, as I switch into my only wall that I have left, which is a Snorlax. Slight bit of physical bulk, but it's mainly there as a special wall. And he doesn't take the Earthquake great, but then I stayed in thinking I was safe and going for a Yawn, and then he went for a Mash, but luckily I missed. I got so freaking lucky with that. So, yeah, he doesn't really want to stay in and have his Metagross asleep, because right now it's his best weapon against my team. He doesn't know that, but, like, my 6th guy is beaten by Gross, so, yep. Yawn on the switch, and this is what this Snorlax was intended to do. It was intended to cause a lot of switches with Yawn and Stealth Rock racking up, but unfortunately with this team Xerxes brought, it was kind of counterproductive, because it didn't really get affected by Stealth Rock that much. So I switch out now, figuring he didn't want to stay around, and figuring he wanted to explode. At that point, I was so afraid of explosion, because his Claydol was going to go to sleep otherwise. So I switched to Scizor, thinking it was my least useful guy at the time. And in comes Hippo. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just get a free U-turn off on it. And now here I should have switched to Snorlax, but I didn't. I switched to Starmie, who gets hit in the face by an Earthquake, and oh, that really sucks, because I need Starmie at more health, because right now it is a huge threat to his team, because it beats out his Skarm, it beats out Hippo, it beats Claydol. Well, it would beat Claydol if it was at higher health. So I decided to just kill this Hippo, because there's no point Rapid Spinning now, because it's going to kill me. And so, yeah, that's pretty much that. So yeah, he brings in Claydol, which is fine. I think at this point I was fearing Explosion again, realized that Surf wasn't going to kill it, and so I just went for a Rapid Spin to get rid of the rocks, but that was a stupid misplay. He was obviously not going to explode. There was no point. He was fine as he was, and everything that he knows he can explode on, he knows that he can either wall my Scizor with something else, or he can explode on my Snorlax. So he obviously wasn't going to explode. It's a poor misplay. So he goes to Cradily as Death Fodder, knowing I'm going to U-turn again. And this is good. I'm starting to wear his team down just a little bit. And here, I think, is probably my worst play of the game, is where I went into my Raikou, which is my 6th guy he hadn't seen yet. I should have gone into Snorlax to try and perhaps prompt the Skarmory switch. I didn't really think about it that much. I just clicked Reiku thinking that it would be a good switch. So he brings in Claydol. Here's another misplay as I go for sub. I really should have gone for Carmine there, and you'll see why in a second, because I realized sub isn't going to do it against this guy. So I decided to go for Calm Mind, and ironically, if I'd have gone for this right off the bat, I would have taken it much better than what I thought. And see, look, I took that pretty well. After a second Calm Mind, I wouldn't have died. And then, who knows, maybe I would have been able to take this thing out. It's kind of unfortunate, really, but, you know what, it's been a good battle so far, and I honestly didn't expect to win that much, because Xerxes is an awesome guy, an awesome battler, so, yeah. He kills me off with Earth Power. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, Calm Minding there wasn't going to do it. He would have still taken me out. So, I'm going to Scizor. I'm just trying to, get rid of this damn Claydol because I'm so afraid of Explosion right now. So, a U-turn, in comes Scarm. Oh, I got a crit there. I didn't see that before. I thought that was a regular U-turn. I thought, wow, Superpower probably would destroy that thing, but no, it wouldn't do that. So, bring in Snorlax. My only hope right now is to get this Skarm asleep, because it's the only way anything's going to matter if I can get it asleep. So I go for the Yawn, just trying to get it asleep, essentially. I should have stayed in and Yawned again, but I didn't want to set up another layer of spikes yet, because if he does, then my Scizzor's dead, and I'm down to Snorlax to do anything. So he switches, though, which I didn't expect as much, because I personally would have gone for another layer of spikes, but I don't know. Xerxes knows what he's doing, I don't. So he brings in Claydol. I decide that U-turn isn't going to be good because I'm going to die upon re-entry, so I just went for the thing I knew that would hit everything else hardest. I realized that Superpower wasn't really a good play because, I don't know, Superpower is resisted by Claydol and it gives me attack drops all the time, so yeah, Bullet Punch isn't going to kill Skarm, though. It's pretty much game over at this point, unless I can maybe, I don't know, I would have to miss multiple Meteor Mashes in a row to even scrape a draw in this one, because if I can catch Skarm on a roost, I could have killed it with Snorlax, I think, because I do pack EQ on it. But there we go, just kills off Scizor, and now it's literally just game. I've just got to wait to die, so it's a good match, Xerxes. Thank you very much for accepting my challenge and starting to get my little Pokemon battling, I suppose, career going. Definitely very appreciative of that. That was a bad way of saying that word, but I don't care. So, yeah, he's just going to finish off Snorlax. It's going to be GG from there. So, yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed this battle. If anyone ever wants to, give me a challenge, then just let me know. I'm available for 4th gen. Right now, I'm trying to get some screen recording software so I can do some 5th gen, but until then, just be 4th gen. So if you want a challenge, then go ahead. I'll be very, very happy. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all some other time. Take care.